The future is something that nobody knows what it will be. There has been some movies and many articles that give out their vision on what they think the future would be, as well as shows. Take Arthur. This groundhog, I think, goes to the year 2118, in which the future looks like this. Or the Fairly Odd Parents movie Channel Chasers, where they depict in 20 years coming from the movie's release, which released in 2004, so 2024, the future will look like this, in which they were wrong. Especially with Back to the Future 2, where they thought in 2015 the future would look like this. Fast forward 26 years later, and yeah, there's many people from all different kinds of years and eras that paint their picture on the future. From BC to when America was found, to the Wild West, to Michael Jackson, to Galaxy Gas. Every single human being that's been on this planet have at least once tried to imagine on what the future would be like. But the thing is, nobody knows. Nobody in the present day knows what's gonna happen tomorrow. Trump might get assassinated. The monkeypox might spread around the world, causing another pandemic. Grocery bags might be banned in America. Nobody knows what's gonna happen the next day, next week, next year, next century, next anything. Like, people from the Dark Ages probably thought the future would look like this in the 21st century. If only they knew. With many people trying to guess what the future would be, there's also many people that give high hopes on what the future would bring. Some people hoping that robot dogs or lightsabers will be invented in the future. With many people giving high hopes about the future, there's also many people that hope some things don't happen in the future. And that's what today's video is. I'm going to be talking about things that I hope doesn't happen in the future. Starting off with flying cars. Now, flying cars seems to be a thing that has been invented in 2021. At least that's what this article says. So we'll probably be expecting flying cars in around 4 to 6 years. And while many people are excited to use this vehicle, I'm extremely scared about it. Now, if I'm going to be completely honest, there's not a single person I would consider an amazing driver. The best drivers in the world are good at most, but good is not enough to drive a flying car. With all these crashes and traffic and all these laws that people don't obey, society is not ready for flying cars. Like, in a few years, I'm not trying to go to my college class. Scratch that. I'm not trying to go to my job at Walgreens, see a shadow of a car, look up at the sky, and see a flying car coming down towards me. I don't want that kind of moment happening to me. I'm not trying to enter the next decade where we have flying cars coming down from the sky, all because nobody knows how to control it. Many people have a hard time driving on the road. So imagine driving up at the sky with not only dealing with birds or bad weather, but airplanes too. Do you really want a predicament that's just as bad or worse than 9/11? Flying cars is something that nobody is ready for. In 6 centuries, maybe, but now, definitely not. Next, we got AIs. I don't know why nobody's worried about it. Now, AI, or artificial intelligence, is something that society has been using these last 2 years. From trying to sound like celebrities and having fun with it, to them being used to make sweets at a bakery. AI is something that's going to be precisely used as time goes on, as well as making us obsolete, with people not really giving a shit about it. And it's mainly because they think that's not gonna happen, you know? They're not gonna replace them. But the thing with the AIs is that they're good. Like, really good. They're so good that in a few years, if you were applying for a job at Arby's where AIs do all the work, you'll probably be taking out the trash, because that's the best you can do. We gotta start getting concerned about AIs, because I'm not trying to get replaced by something that looks like that. Next, we got those Apple Vision goggles. Please, for the love of God, can this not get popular in the future? Seriously, if you own this, you probably have a good time whenever you're wearing them. But from an outsider's perspective, you look dumb. Like, take a look at this guy. Do you really want to walk around looking like that? I'm not saying you should be self-conscious of what people think about you, but do you really want to live like this? I don't know if this needs to mention, but have you ever watched Ready Player One? Look at their body gesturing. Do you really want to be like these people? Also, because of these goggles, the world looks like this in 2047. Literal trash. These goggles actually need to be stopped, because if nobody stops this, then the whole world would look like this. We got time traveling next, which, please no. Now, time travel might seem all fun because you can go to the past or the future, any point in time you want to go. You also might find it to be useful because it can prevent bad things. Like, if you go up to your crush and said something so cringy that she starts acting like she doesn't know you, you can time travel 2 minutes back, think of a better line, go up to your crush and say it, and hope that your crush starts to fall in love with you and have kids with you. In which the answer is no. But I don't think anybody sees the consequences whenever they see a time travel movie. Let's go back to the Future 2. Older Biff steals the time machine, goes back to the 50s, and gives Biff the sports almanac, in which has all the answers to which team wins, leading him to take over the world. Or take Power Rangers, where the whole world was sucked from a black hole, in which they had to go back in time and I don't know what they did, but they saved the world. Except now there's dinosaurs. These Power Rangers literally caused Jurassic Park to happen, in which we should be grateful. Or take Doctor Who. Now, I haven't watched Doctor Who at all, but correct me if I'm wrong, they did cause a paradox. 2 apparently. Not to mention, but the situations that relate to time traveling are crazy. Coming back to Back to the Future again, this dog went to the 50s, then the 21st century, and then the Wild West with these 2 crackheads. I'm not trying to go through that. I'm not trying to have a conversation with a friend only for some time travel guy to pick me up and join him for the ride. As far as I learned from movies that relate to time traveling, a time machine is one of the worst creations anybody can make. But thankfully that hasn't happened yet. Hopefully not. Next, we got cloning. Now, there's been many people that have been making conspiracies about cloning, such as with Eminem. A lot of people say this Eminem moment where his clone is malfunctioning, but like, do you not remember who Eminem was back in the late 90s? I find the conspiracy of cloning to be not true, but honestly, I'm worried it might be true in a few decades. Scientists are apparently testing out cloning, and to that I say, can you please stop? Anybody that has watched a movie or an episode about clones know that clones start off good and then turn evil. It's literally like that whenever an episode or a movie is about clones. Always has, always will. And they're not wrong, because it's definitely gonna happen. It may seem all fun at first with a teenager with one person at school and one person at home, but in a few months that clone is gonna plot out your demise. Especially when clones start cloning themselves, it's over for society. Society's fucked. There's gonna be an army of Edgars and emo kids going at each other. Cloning is a science fiction thing and a conspiracy that should stay that way. Next, we got weapons that heroes and villains use. For any of you that want to be scientists and are big fans of these superheroes and villains, please don't make their weapons. It's not just that society can't use these weapons, but not even the heroes and villains can use them. I swear, any one of these weapons can literally explode the entire planet. Like, take Tough Puppy. Look at all these weapons that they have. No one's finna use these weapons for the greater good. They finna use it to break into banks, destroy buildings, and take over the world. I mean, yeah, the animals are using the weapons, but still, this dog uses this weapon better than this guy can. You also got weapons from Deadpool, Thor, Green Lantern. Y'all can trash and make fun of Green Lantern, but he has weapons like this. I swear, as soon as someone manages to make the Iron Man hand, we're finished. The world's over. Roll the end credits. Next and final one, we have what I really hope doesn't happen in the future, and I think many of y'all would agree with me. Robots. I don't really need to explain why. Like, it shocks me how people are trying to make robots and not understanding that they're gonna cause an apocalypse. Y'all remember the Mitchells versus the Machines, where the guy introduces the robots and they go completely rogue on the very first day? It was caused by a phone, yeah, but my point still stands. Like, there's this big ass robot in Japan, and I don't know why people aren't scared of it. What if that robot just one day goes on a complete rampage and just straight up goes Godzilla on the whole city? What if that happens? One of y'all can say, oh, the creator makes sure that the robot stays a good guy. Shut the fuck up. Eventually the robot is gonna control itself. Like that Tesla Cybertruck, that's not a truck, that's a transformer in disguise. Elon Musk one day will probably make a minor change to the Tesla Cybertruck, only for it to become a transformer, shooting up cities and taking over the world. I'm telling you, that's gonna be the future of the Cybertruck. And the thing I hate most about this is when people say that if a war between human beings and robots happen, we'll manage to be on top. That's gotta be one of the biggest lies anybody has ever heard. You're saying that this guy can defeat this robot. Considering what society has become, I don't think a TikTok life hack is gonna do a scratch towards a robot. I don't have that much to say besides, whoever starts the robot apocalypse, best believe everyone finna start rushing you. And yeah, those are things that I hope doesn't really happen in the future. While some of the things might not happen in the future, who knows? Because again, nobody knows what's gonna happen tomorrow. But if a robotic war did happen tomorrow, then I'm gonna be siding with the people that created Wall-E, as I'm pretty confident they're prepared for a moment like this. At least I hope. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. I love you. Have a good day tomorrow, and bye.